Sexual Personae by Camille Paglia. Page 36. The Western cells of holiness and criminality are a cognitive advance in human history. Our cardinal myths are Faust, who locks himself in his study to read books and crack the code of nature, and Don Juan, who makes a war of pleasure and counts his conquests by Apollonian number. Both are cellular egos, seducers, and criminal knowers, in whom sex, thought, and aggression are fused. This cell separated from nature is our brain and eye. Our hard personalities are imagistic projections from the Apollonian higher cortex. Personae are visible ideas. All facial expressions and theatrical postures present among animal primates are fleeting shadows of personae. While Japanese decorum limits facial expressions, Western art, since the Hellenistic era, has recorded every permutation of irony, anxiety, flirtation, and menace. The hardness of our personalities and the tension with which they are set off from nature have produced the West's vulnerability to decadence. Tension leads to fatigue and collapse, late phases of history in which sadomasochism flourishes. As I will show, decadence is a disease of the eye, a sexual intensification of artistic voyeurism. The Apollonian things of Western sex and art reach their economic glorification in capitalism. In the past 15 years, Marxist approaches to literature have enjoyed increasing vogue. To be conscious of the social context of art seems automatically to entail a leftist orientation. But a theory is possible that is both avant-garde and capitalist. Marxism was one of Rousseau's 19th century progeny, energized by faith in the perfectibility of man. Its belief that economic forces are the primary dynamic in history is romantic naturism in disguise. That is, it sketches a surging wave motion in the material context of human life, but tries to deny the perverse daemonism of that context. Marxism is the bleakest of anxiety formations against the power of Chthonian mothers. Its influence on modern historiography has been excessive. The great man theory of history was not as simplistic as claimed. We have barely recovered from a world war in which this theory was proved evilly true. One man can change the course of history, for good or ill. Marxism is a flight from the magic of person and the mystique of hierarchy. It distorts the character of Western culture, which is based on charismatic power of person. Marxism can work only in pre-industrial societies of homogeneous populations. Raise the standard of living, and the rainbow riot of individualism will break out. Personality and art, which Marxism fears and censors, rebound from every effort to repress them. Capitalism, gaudy and greedy, has been inherent in Western aesthetics from ancient Egypt on. It is the mysticism and glamour of things which take on a personality of their own. As an economic system, it is in the Darwinian line of Sade, not Rousseau. The capitalist survival of the fittest is already present in the Iliad. Western sexual personae clash by day and by night. Homer's gleaming bronze-clad warriors are the Apollonian soup cans that crowd the sunny temples of our supermarkets and compete for our attention on television. The West objectifies persons and personalizes objects. The teeming multiplicity of capitalist products is an Apollonian correction of nature. Brand names are territorial cells of Western identity. Our shiny chrome automobiles, like our armies of grocery boxes and cans, are extrapolations of hard, impermeable, Western personality. Capitalist products are another version of the artworks flooding Western culture. The portable framed painting appeared at the birth of modern commerce, in the early Renaissance. Capitalism and art have challenged and nourished each other ever since. Capitalist and artist are parallel types. The artist is just as amoral and acquisitive as the capitalist, and just as hostile to competitors. That in the age of the merchant prince artworks are hawked and sold like hot dogs supports my argument, but it is not central to it. Western culture is animated by a visionary materialism. Apollonian formalism has stolen from nature to make a romance of things, hard, shiny, crass, and willful. The capitalist distribution network, a complex chain of factory, transport, warehouse, and retail outlet, is one of the greatest male accomplishments in the history of culture. It is a lightning-quick Apollonian circuit of male bonding. One of feminism's irritating reflexes is its fashionable disdain for patriarchal society, to which nothing good is ever attributed, but it is patriarchal society that has freed me as a woman. It is capitalism that has given me the leisure to sit at this desk writing this book. Let us stop being small-minded about men and freely acknowledge what treasures their obsessiveness has poured into culture. We could make an epic catalog of male achievements, from paved roads, indoor plumbing, and washing machines to eyeglasses, antibiotics, and disposable diapers. We enjoy fresh, safe milk and meat, and vegetables and tropical fruits heaped in snowbound cities. When I cross the George Washington Bridge, or any of America's great bridges, I think men have done this. Construction is a sublime male poetry. When I see a giant crane passing on a flatbed truck, I pause in awe and reverence, as one would for a church procession. What power of conception! What grandiosity! These cranes tie us to ancient Egypt, where monumental architecture was first imagined and achieved. If civilization had been left in female hands, we would still be living in grass huts. A contemporary woman clapping on a hard hat merely enters a conceptual system invented by men. Capitalism is an art form, an Apollonian fabrication to rival nature. It is hypocritical for feminists and intellectuals to enjoy the pleasures and conveniences of capitalism while sneering at it. Even Thoreau's Walden was just a 2-year experiment. Everyone born into capitalism has incurred a debt to it. Give Caesar his due. The pagan dialectic of Apollonian and Dionysian was sweepingly comprehensive and accurate about mind and nature. Christian love is so lacking its emotional polarity that the devil had to be invented to focus natural human hatred and hostility. Rousseauism's Christianized psychology has led to the tendency of liberals toward glumness or depression in the face of the political tensions, wars, and atrocities that daily contradict their assumptions. Perhaps, the more we are sensitized by reading and education, the more we must repress the facts of Chthonian nature. But the insupportable feminist dichotomy between sex and power must go. Just as the hatreds of divorce court expose the dark face beneath the mask of love, so is the truth about nature revealed during crisis. Victims of tornado and hurricane instinctively speak of the fury of Mother Nature, How often we hear that phrase as the television camera follows dazed survivors, picking through the wreckage of homes and towns. In the unconscious, everyone knows that Jehovah has never gained control of the savage elements. Nature is pandemonium, an all devil's day. There are no accidents, only nature throwing her weight around. Even the bomb merely releases energy that nature has put there. Nuclear war would be just a spark in the grandeur of space, nor can radiation alter nature. She will absorb it all. After the bomb, nature will pick up the cards we have spilled, shuffle them, and begin her game again. Nature is forever playing solitaire with herself. Western love has been ambivalent from the start. As early as Sappho, 600 BC, or even earlier in the epic legend of Helen of Troy. Art records the push and pull of attraction and hostility in that perverse fascination we call love. There is a magnetics of eroticism in the West, due to the hardness of Western personality. Eroticism is an electric force field between masks. The modern pursuit of self-realization has not led to sexual happiness because assertions of selfhood merely release the amoral chaos of libido. Freedom is the most overrated modern idea, originating in the Romantic rebellion against bourgeois society. But only in society can one be an individual. Nature is waiting at society's gates to dissolve us in her Chthonian bosom. Out with stereotypes, feminism proclaims, but stereotypes are the West's stunning sexual personae, the vehicles of art's assault against nature. The moment there is imagination, there is myth. We may have to accept an ethical cleavage between imagination and reality, tolerating horrors, rapes, and mutilations in art that we would not tolerate in society. For art is our message from the beyond, telling us what nature is up to. Not sex, but cruelty is the great neglected or suppressed item on the modern humanistic agenda. We must honor the Chthonian, but not necessarily yield to it. In The Rape of the Lock, Pope counsels good humor as the only solution to sex war. So, with our enslavement by Chthonian nature, we must accept our pain, change what we can, and laugh at the rest. But let us see art for what it is, and nature for what it is. From remotest antiquity, Western art has been a parade of sexual personae, emanations of absolutist Western mind. Western art is a cinema of sex and dreaming. Art is form struggling to wake from the nightmare of nature.